Every now and then I like to take a break from the normal videos and share a rare recording or something interesting that I've found on a tape that I've acquired. Well, today I want to feature something that I happened to acquire through a large lot of old radio station tapes from the 1970s. I had found this lot on eBay, bid on it, and won it. Now, I didn't realize that this particular recording was in the mix, and when I listened to it, I was pretty amazed. Today, we're going to listen to a recording that was made in 1972. It was on a radio show on WBAI Radio in New York City. The writer and performer, John Lithgow, and the subject, J. Edgar Hoover. And it wasn't particularly kind. I think this type of political satire wouldn't fly nowadays. So, I figured I'd share it. Before we roll tape, I want to give you just a little bit of background. John Lithgow performed on Pacifica Radio on WBAI in the early 1970s. Think Saturday Night Live, but on the radio. Now, according to him, they were a ragamuffin group of radicals at the time, and they satirized everything. He goes on to say in a later interview that J. Edgar Hoover was a larger-than-life figure and was off limits while he was alive. They didn't want him coming after him. Now, when he died, he figured that all bets were off and he was now ripe for being satirized. Now, when the crew of that show at WBAI heard the news of his death, they sprung into action and this piece of satire was born. Now, not only did they produce it in a newsreel style, but it aired around the same time as the news. It also sounded so much like an actual newscast that the switchboards at the station lit up like a Christmas tree. Now, I will warn everyone that this is from 1972, and their filters were not as strong as they are today. So if you're easily offended by satire or harsh comedy, it's best to turn off now. I felt that this was a historically significant enough piece of analog media to share, especially since I can't find it anywhere else. Now let's roll the tape.
WBAI brings you news on the march. Washington, Dateline. The world today mourns the untimely passing of yet another great American patriot, J. Edgar Hoover, beloved longtime head of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, symbol of courage, patriotism, and dedication to his country, passed away of his Washington home today in natural causes. No other seat in the figures of power in Washington enjoyed even close to the measure of independence he maintained from a whole succession of attorneys general and president, laughing in the face of the fact that for more than 4 decades he was their subordinate. His body was found by his maid at 8:30 this morning, who phoned the news to the acting attorney general.
Miss Clardy, oh, Lord, Miss Hoover done passed away. What's going to happen for Harvey's now? Masses in the cold, cold ground. I've got 9 little pickaninnies. What's going to happen to all
President Nixon told reporters that he learned of Hoover's death with a sense of personal loss.
It can truly be said of him that he was a legend in his own lifetime. For millions of American citizens, the values he cherished most, courage, patriotism, dedication to his country, and a granite-like honesty. And I'd like to say just one thing about that. In times of controversy, Mr. Hoover's magnificent contribution to making this a great and good country, long after the petty carpings and vicious criticisms of his detractors are forgotten. And I'd like to say just one more thing.
Hoover was born in Washington on New Year's Day, 1895.
Congratulations, Mr. Hoover. You're a father.
What is it, midwife?
Mrs. Hoover has just given birth to a perfectly healthy, beautifully formed 6-pound, 7-ounce rock.
Yes, from these humble beginnings came the man who literally created and built the finest law enforcement agency in the world and gave his name to the great vacuum cleaner. Young J. Edgar attended George Washington University, where in 1916 he earned a Bachelor of Law degree, and where already his dogged instincts for sniffing out wrongdoers were beginning to blossom.
Edgar, me dear boy, you mustn't be afraid to tell me all about it. Have you yielded to the carnal urgings of your mortal flesh?
Well, Father Flotsky,
You mustn't be ashamed, boy. The ways of temptation are manifold, and prayers are only recourse.
Well, Father Finnegan,
Come, boy, get down on your knees before me and call out to God to be forgiven for your sins, so that shame may no longer trouble your ardent heart.
Well, Father Fitzgerald,
Come closer to me now, boy, and feel the presence of God. blood rising and surging between us. Do you feel it now, boy? Do you feel it?
Well, Father Flaherty...
Don't be ashamed, dear boy. Spirit and flesh is one. Feel the spirit. Feel the flesh. Open your heart and receive the spirit. Open your mouth and receive the flesh.
Okay, boys. The era of Bonnie and Clyde bank robbery teams and sensational kidnappings brought an ever-mounting esteem and notoriety to the FBI and its trusty head, J. Edgar Hoover, who meantime lent his name to the Great Dam.
Okay, kids, here's the pitch. We're grooming you kids for the big time. We're going straight to the top, and we're going to take you right along with us. How about it, kids?
Blow it out your ear, Hoover. We need you guys like we need a hole in the head. Let's get out of here, Bonnie.
Hold on a minute, Clyde. This could be our big break. I'm fed up with all these one-night stands and grubby motels, the greasy spoons and the cheap cigars.
Atta girl, Bonnie, now you're cooking with gas. I got a promo tour here that's going to set you two up for life.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you're going to hit all the big spots. Pismo Savings and Loan, Pismo, Texas. The Martin Buber Trust Company in Endoderm, Oklahoma. The First National in Punham, Arkansas. And in Hookin' Kansas, you're going to hit the Hookin' Trust. Now, here's the setup.
I don't know, Bonnie.
Oh, shut up, Clyde, and listen to the man. Shoot, Hoover.
His career in recent years attracted sporadic criticism from all shades of the political spectrum. Syndicated columnist Jack Anderson, testifying before Congress only yesterday, claimed Hoover compiled secret dossiers on the sex lives of prominent Americans for the bedtime reading of former President Johnson.
Okay, Marcel, let's get started here.
How are we going to jazz this one up, J. Edgar?
Well, read it out loud.
Okay, Junior Senator Musgrave, Democrat, Rhode Island, and his 51-year-old secretary, Agnes Frobisher, were observed departing Horn and Hard Arts Cafeteria with a brown paper bag of medium size. Interrogation of counter girl Flossie Grimble yielded following data: 2 coffees regular, 2 plain crullers, and mandarin orange yogurt to go. I don't know, J. Edgar. It doesn't do much for me.
Now, just a minute, Marcel. Let me just give it the old once-over. Here, take this down.
Mm-hmm.
There, in the sultry, darkened cafe, the cocky junior senator brushed thighs with his nubile blonde and shapely gal Friday as he jauntily tossed a crumpled bill to the pouting counter girl. There's no one in the office, he breathed, scarcely concealing the depths of his passion. Her breasts rose and fell in silent ascent beneath the clinging translucence of her silk blouse.
Oh, I see what you mean. How about the coffee was hot, steamy, and black?
Yeah.
The pastry moist and creamy, sweet on his tongue as he...
That's right, Marcel. That's right. You got the idea. Give it the full treatment, put it in a brown envelope marked classified, and see that the old man has it by bedtime. Oh, and Marcel.
Yeah, J. Edgar?
Remember, this is top secret. Let's not get caught with our pants down.
Yes, extremists of all stripes in our society ceaselessly attempt to discredit the rule of law as being biased and oppressive. But standing firmly in their path has been one solitary, stalwart, crusty individual, J. Edgar Hoover. Nowhere in the pages of history can be found a greater champion of justice. And who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way.
Now, I know that that's not for everyone, and it's not particularly my style of comedy either, but I feel like it gives a great insight into the use of that technology at the time. You see, radio was still a major source of news, information, and entertainment even up through the 1970s. The fact that this recording still survives is amazing to me. That reel could have been tossed in the bin at any time, and I haven't found another copy of it anywhere. Now, is it politically correct? Probably not. But viewed through the lens of 1972, it was definitely timely. Now, that's all I have for this week. I just wanted to produce a simple video to share something of a rare find with you. Now, if you have any thoughts or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And until next time, happy listening.